Swerve up on that scene, hop out engine looking clean.
Alright, what's up guys, Poison here. We're back from the episode of Quick Play. We are playing some more Metro. Moving on. So, we've done Pavel, Khan, and Anna. Let's sit down and we'll work our way up. We'll go Spider Lair. Man, I don't like the spiders in this game. I don't like Spider Lair. I think this is a long one. We're gonna see. Either way, today is Tuesday. This is super late. It's already 4:51. Sorry, this morning was kind of a good day. Good news. I went, took my firearms test, did a background check. I'm approved. So May 3rd, I'm allowed to go get my firearm. Everything's paid off. So we're just going to get straight into it. Yeah, I can now legally own a firearm. Not to say I couldn't before, but now that I have my certificate, my firearm license thing, I don't know really what it is. But the license that allows me to buy a firearm, I'm good. I just gotta do background checks, I believe, every time I purchase a firearm. But as long as I have this license for 5 years, I'm allowed to purchase a firearm, and I don't have to do a bunch of things like the DROS or something. Either way, bought a handgun. I'm not gonna say what it is too much. It's not that important. It's a Glock. That's all we're gonna say. But yeah, purchased a firearm. Next Friday, I get to go pick it up. I'm super excited. You know, this is something I talked about earlier in the year, how I had to just like grow up and buckle down on what I wanted to purchase. I already got a car. I'm doing decent money-wise, so I'm like, hey, let's go and get a firearm. And as I was there, I was talking to the gun shop owner. Dude was super cool, and he was telling me, he's like, excuse me. He was talking to me, and he's all like, what do you want the firearm for? And I'm just like, honestly, self-defense. That's not the main thing, but mainly just because I like guns. I like to go to the range. I like to shoot guns. It's just a fun experience, you know, as long as it's done in a safe manner, which is true. I wasn't like bullshitting to the gun shop owner to try to get better, but that's true. You know, guns are a lot of fun. If you handle them safely and you go somewhere like a range, guns can be a lot of fun. So, and then he's like, oh, do you ever plan on concealed carrying this? I'm like, yeah, I would like to get my license eventually, but I know it's not going to happen anytime soon. I know about the wait list for Sacramento. He's like, yeah. And I told him, like, I kind of slipped into, I'm like, another thing is, I have a guard card, but I eventually want to get my, my firearms guard card, so I could do that. He asked me, he's like, oh, you work in security? I'm like, yeah, I do occasionally work in security. He's like, where do you work? You know, I was telling him, like, oh, in Antioch area, Pittsburgh, you know, the Bay Area, work in security. He's like, oh, okay, what company? I was telling him, like, oh, STM, they're a company down there in the Bay. He's all like, oh, okay, he was letting me know, he's like, so you don't have your, firearms guard card, right? I'm like, no, I just have a regular guard card. He's like, oh, okay, I have a friend who he's like, he said he has a friend who he's really good friends with who, does security here, Paladin, and I've heard of the company before. And I'm like, oh, you know him? He's like, yeah, he's a really cool guy. He could help you, he'll help you with your guard card. He can help you get the license and everything. And then he's like, and if you'd like, you could also, you know, work with him. He does like security wherever. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be actually kind of cool to do. He's like, okay, remind me as we're leaving to give you a card. I'm like, okay. And then he went outside, took the garbage out, and then came back in. Cause like his shop is really small. So it was just a quick little trip outside, came back in. And he's actually, here, let me get you the card right now before I forget. I'm like, dude, for sure. Thank you so much. And, you know, it was a really simple, easy process. It was really pleasing. The guy was actually a really cool guy to talk to, honestly. He was really cool. Older gentleman, me, him, and a few other guys who were in the shop were talking. They were talking about, like, Trump, Ben Shapiro, and all that. And he's like, you know what? It really hurts me when people call Trump a Nazi. And then he's all like, do you guys know my last name? I'm like, none of us knew his last name. He's like, I don't really remember his last name. I'm so sorry, dude. But I didn't remember his last name. But he's like, my name has Jewish descent behind. So when Schindler made his list, my people were on that list. And we're like, oh, fuck. And he's like, yeah, so like, not trying to defend Trump, but it just hurts me when people call Trump a Nazi because, you know, he's never killed anyone. The guy was super down to earth, super cool guy. But if you're like someone who would like get offended and all that, can I not turn on my light? What the fuck? I don't have a gun and I can't turn on my light. He's all like, you know, he just spoke like super realistically. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm a Trump supporter. I listen to Ben Shapiro. I listen to all these people. You know, the people that if you hear on the news who are called Nazis, he's like, yeah, I listen to them. And it really hurts me because, you know, these people aren't Nazis. They don't. I've never once heard him, you know, say, oh, we got to kill these people. He's like, how many people has Trump killed? We're like, well, 0 as far as we're aware. He might have gotten people killed. We're not sure. But he himself has never killed anyone. He's like, yeah. He's like, you know, it's just super upsetting to hear this stuff, and it's like for no reason. I'm saying the guy's super cool. I enjoyed it. He made this experience really pleasant for purchasing a gun. You know, he was telling me, he's like, hey, watch out. There's like some trick questions on a test. I'm like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, well, you're going to come across a question where it's like, where is a safe place to point a gun if it has to be fired? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, okay. And it was literally just one of the questions that he just gave me the full answer to. He's like, okay, you're going to come across a part where it's like, where's the best way to point a gun? Up in the sky, down on the floor, at your friend, or in a safe direction where it won't hurt anybody. He didn't give me the full answers because one of the I remember the question exactly, but the answer was different than what he said. And he's like, yeah, obviously you would think like in the ground, right? I'm like, yeah, in the ground seems a lot safer than in the sky or at something. But then he's like, no, you want to point it in a safe direction. I'm like, oh well, yeah. And then the question was all like, where's the safest place to fire a gun? In case of or what is the safe direction to point a gun in a negligent discharge? And it's like away from damaging anyone's, away from causing injury or damage to a person or property. So it's like, yeah, you point in a safe direction. So if you're out in the desert, you point out in the desert instead of like towards the highway or some shit, you know? And it was just a super cool experience. This guy had some of the best prices on guns I've seen. Before I purchased the gun, I looked around. I was looking around through like Google and like different websites and stuff like, oh, this person is charging $530 for this gun. Oh, this person's selling it for $520. This guy's selling it for $510. It's like, oh, okay, this is like really good location, you know? He had a very little selection. The one thing I did love though, yeah, the selection was very small. Of firearms, but the firearms he had were like really cool firearms. Like he had a bunch of AR-15s. He had a Raz-47, which is like an AK-47, but not really an AK. It's a more modern, legal version to have. Because, yeah, AKs, if no one on Earth is going to own an AK-47 anymore. If you do, you're paying a lot of money for an original AK. Because a lot of guns that are AK patterned are either Sega or not really AK. So, having, like, really no one has a real AK, pretty much. It's going to cost you a lot of money to purchase a real AK. You're going to have, like, an AK, clone, sort of, or, like, a different variant. But this guy had, like, an AK-styled rifle. He had a bunch of AR-15s. He had just, California legal firearms. Like, honestly, that's the best way to put it. Because, like, they were all sporter stock rifles and stuff. And it's like, oh, dude, these are cool, you know? It's like, you don't have the California bullet button. You don't have anything that makes it illegal. It was all, you know, legal firearms that you could just take and, you know, not to worry like, oh, do I have to modify it to make it legal? No. You buy it and it's already legal. So, yeah, he had a bunch of firearms. He had KSG-12. He had a few AR-15s, you know, an AK. When I go pick up my firearm, I'm going to go hold the AK and be like, huh, can I see what this firearm feels like? You know, because, like, I do want to buy a rifle also later. But, you know, just go by and be like, hey, can I hold that rifle? What's it feel like to shoot, especially with the stock? Because, like, it had a normal stock, but it didn't have a normal grip to it. So it's like, oh, what's this gun feel like? Same as the ARs, because I might just buy an AR-15 eventually. My other choice was a Ruger carbine or a PC carbine. But it's like, nah, I might not buy it. Seeing as that the Ruger PC carbine was about $540, as where an AR-15 that's a little bit more powerful was for, you know, 600, almost 700. It's like, oh, dude, that's an easy no-brainer. I should start stabbing everything. Fuck it. We're just gonna blind him and stab everything, dude. We got 40 seconds left. But, yeah, we're gonna keep playing because we're not gonna get to the save point in this DLC, unfortunately. So, we got one more video we're gonna record. Probably 2 more, depending on how long this DLC takes. But, next Metro video, which will be coming out Thursday, I do want to talk about Resident Evil. Because, man, Resident Evil 7, I have a lot to talk about that, dude. Especially since I beat the game, or tomorrow you guys will see that video. But yeah, Resident Evil 7. Dude, I'm super excited for that game. We got 14 seconds. I might as well keep it going. But yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. I bought a gun today. finally did something I've been wanting to do, you know. A lot of cool shit happened today. Oh, where the fuck are we going? Where are we going, dude? I swear we're like missing something. So, time is up, guys. I will see you next time. Have an awesome day. Thank you for watching. Bye.